Hey everybody, today I'm going to talk about the Realist report. I was training another agent this morning and they really were kind of clueless on how to take advantage of what's really in there. And I use this Realist report whether I'm working with a buyer or a seller. And so just so you know how to access it really easy when it relates to your property, you just go to the MLS and right here in the parcel ID, this is highlighted as you can see, I will click on that. And that, let's say I'm going on a listing appointment. So the first thing I want to do, because I don't trust the MLS sheet because that's agent error, and I will have a disclosure here. This information in here could also be wrong because it's human error that could be recording it wrong in here. But I got to go by this because this is what our tax records are saying. So I usually go through and I highlight different components of it where I'll want to know the year that it is so I can quickly see it. I do care about the latest tax value and I do scan across to see if there's been changes. In this case, there has been. It's been an increase. I check on the lot size because I'm interested in that, the year that it's built, what it says in the tax records and what the MLS has stated about it. I like to see discrepancies in there. Not that I'm looking for liking discrepancies, but I am looking for differences because that's only 3 feet there it looks like, but that's another reason that we have professional measures done just to verify all that. I like to see the bedrooms. If it's on septic, that's my first alert because a 5-bedroom septic is pretty big in this area. So I definitely, if I'm working with a listing or a buyer, I want to make sure that I can see the septic report that validates those number of bedrooms. Um, and then I just kind of scan through different things in here that are important to me. But the big deal when I'm looking at a listing is to see, after I've done my comps, is what did they pay for it? When did they buy it? 2005, paid 965 for this house. So I go to 2005 and see that was the original mortgage that he got. So he paid 965 and his mortgage was 650. But then, because the market was escalating, you can see he said, "Let me have another $50,000." So now he owes 700,000 on that purchase price, and that's fine. And then the next year, 2007, he says, "Wow, the market's really exploding. I can get more money out of my house." So he could have eliminated that one and just gotten this, but he didn't more than likely eliminate both of those and get that, not because that wasn't the mindset of the time. But also I noticed that he got two in here. He got 336 and a 90. He could owe this 336 and the 90. I'm assuming he's eliminated the 50. At least I would hope he got that out of there. So you can see that he went from 650. Now he's 9. He's at a million. He's a little over a million already on his 965 purchase price in 2007 at the peak of the market. So that's a very interesting thing to me. If I were listing it, let's say today, and I'd want to know, what I could list it for, especially when my tax value is 869,540, which is not necessarily a telltale, but it's a fact, and I just pay attention to the facts. So I think this is very important for you to be looking at this both as a listing agent, so you're seeing the potential of what they owe. Of course, you're going to ask them, what do you owe? And try and get that all determined so that that is on your listing agreement. But also, if they're tight in their numbers of what you've comped at and approximately what they owe, it tells you how much room they have to play if we start in negotiations and the offers are coming in lower than what they can afford to do, because you're putting your time and your money into this whole process of doing it. Now, flip sides, and you're the buyer. You got a guy who wants to come in and lowball. It's very important to understand these numbers of what they approximately owe. Now, they're not facts, and the other side can't tell you what they owe, but they're a guide. And yes, that is 2007. But if you look at your mortgage bill, you're going to notice that the majority of your payment is going toward interest. So even though it would be 10 years in 2017, in our case right now, how much has that really gone down, especially since he keeps taking more money out of there? So this person could be in trouble, especially when you look at, they put this on the market in 2012. They were originally asking for 1,250,000. They're trying to get all the money they got out of there, pay the commission, and then you can see they'd already dropped it over 225,000 back in 2012 when this went on the market. So clearly, this guy's trying to get all his money out, and he just gave up at a certain point because he realized he was definitely upside down and wasn't going to be able to play at that time in the market. So this is an important analysis to really pay attention to. An agent called me this morning and said, um, we want to lowball this offer, and the first thing I said is, did you go in and take a look at the mortgages? Now they're not always as clean and simple as this one. I'm going to show you a couple others. Um, let's see this guy here. So this guy, he bought his house in 2017, and the purchase price was 281, and his mortgage was 249.9. So you can see that this guy, didn't put much down. He's not ready to sell because he just did. So he's not a very good example. But that's my point. It's the difference. Not everyone is going to look the same. Let's see what this one is here. This one, this guy bought his house in 2017 for 235, and people are putting less and less down on their homes. I'm noticing a lot, and so that's important to pay attention to as well, because their numbers are going to be tight. And if this market doesn't appreciate and they want to sell in a couple of years, they don't have much room to play.